Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, today we're going to be attempting to install a Roto Fab cold air intake. I picked this baby up used from a guy on gmtrucks.com. I always find some smoking deals on there. It's not everybody's thing, everything I want, but it's usually a good deal. So I'll show you what we got and what we're going to do with it. These babies are about 600 bucks, I think, new, and I gave, I don't know, 250 or 300 bucks for it. So we'll go over what I got in the package. I got the air box itself, the air filter, tubes for the intake, piping for the PVC adapter, and mass airflow sensor mount. And then I got a couple of brackets in here too, and some hose clamps here for this end, and I imagine this end as well. So we're gonna try to figure it all out as we go, guys. I think we can handle it. So here we go. We need to get this thing out of the way. So these are a couple of T15s right here. So take those out, and usually I put them right back in so I don't lose them. And put the latch back in place as well. The reason for that is one time I closed the hood accidentally without this latch. Man, it was a nightmare. I was in the middle of a project and I'm just carelessly just closed it. Anyway, so once you get that, you got like 10 of these little babies to take out. And I just usually use a flathead screwdriver. There's a little slot right here. You can get it started in there, pry it up, pull it up the rest of the way with your fingers just so it's firm, and then underneath there, you can pull it up the rest of the way. Like I say, there's like 10 of them. So get them out, put them in a jar or something, so you know you got them for later. Since you pulled out the T15s and the latch assembly, just pull it up out of there and get it out of the way. Like I say, it's a good idea now to just put this baby back on and at least get the screws started in there. Next, we know that all this factory stuff is going to have to come out of there. So I'm going to start removing that here in just a minute. And we'll go over that step by step. But we know this baby's got to go, this has got to go, and this big air box has got to go. We'll take it from there. Okay, so we know that our mass airflow sensor needs to come out. So I'm just going to unscrew that, T15 again. Then I'll probably set it back here out of the way, out of harm's way. And we know this is also going to have to come loose, so we'll take that loose and see what happens from there. So don't lose these screws. I know we don't reuse these ones right now, but it's always a good idea to keep all your factory stuff. And I'll end up putting them in a little Ziploc bag and taping them to this air cleaner assembly. So just pull that gently straight out. And there you go. And we'll get that with some mass airflow cleaner before we put it back in there. You just throw these babies. Might as well throw them right back in the hole for now. Give them just enough love so they don't fly out of there somehow. And then over here, I know we've got to take this PCV line off. So just give it a little squeeze inward, I believe, and then pull back. So push with your thumb. That should release it. Then wiggle it till it comes off. So there you have that. Like I say, just push here. Push on this right here. So you can see it springing in, then pull straight back, and that'll be loose. Okay, and I think there's another down in here. We got to get that one loose as well with our standard screwdriver. Okay, and get that all loosened up, and that should pull up out of there. Get this end off. There we go. I think we're gonna have to wrestle this end up a little because there's like a rubber bracket over there. So I'll try to get that. So yeah, just keep prying it straight up, guys. Straight up, and it'll come right off of there. You can see here, there's a little slot there. And on the back of this, there's a little piece that goes into it. So it might be tough to figure out getting it back on, but hopefully I don't have to do that. Okay, it's looking a little better. And of course, Sammy's over there egging me on. Can't see him because of sunlight, but what would my video be like without my rooster crowing? So now we're gonna try to get this piece out, and we'll see what all that entails. From a previous engagement, there's my pulsar. Dude, these are really worth getting. Get yourself one of these. It helps your truck in so many ways. Check out my video on that. And anyway, so we'll see how this baby's in there, and see if we can get it out. So it looks like there's a screw down there, probably 10 millimeter deep well, I'm imagining. And maybe I'll take the cover off real quick and see if it shows me anything else. Yeah, so these are 13 millimeter to take these out, guys. I just think it'll be easier when it's out of our way. So we'll pop that out of there real quick. And the other land here is pretty loose, so I'm just gonna get that folded back out of my way. Start this one back in just so I don't lose it. As you can see, this had a little tab, another one of those just quick release tabs. So anyway, we should have some room to manipulate it around a little now and get it loose. Yeah, there we go. It's already loose down there, it feels like. Just got to get it up out of there. I'll show you why we got to get it out of there in a little bit. Probably the hardest part of the job is going to get back in there, honestly. Okay, well, we got it out, guys. So the thing is, just keep pulling, and I'm kind of jiggling around a lot, and it'll come out eventually. You might feel like you're going to break something, but nothing broken. I know it needs to come out of there. So now we're getting quite a nice pile of stuff over here, and we'll get it all together, don't you worry. It says 14 horsepower, 20 some torque, and 2 miles to the gallon better. So should all be good things. Anyway, next we're going to tackle that down there with that deep well 10 millimeter. Pretty long threaded. Okay, got it. Now we'll see where else she's hooked up. Seems pretty loose, really. Yep, there we go. It's all going to come out as one big unit, it looks like. So all in all, that part wasn't too bad. Now we just got to put it back together. Okay, guys, so it looks like we're going to do some pre-assembly. So your mass airflow sensor tube, if you bought it new, it's going to come with these 6 screws in a package. So I'm going to take them out. But what we want to do is we're going to insert it with this flat part of the metal flange aimed straight down. So I'm going to take these screws out and put it back in there. They just took it apart for shipping. Okay, guys, so we got that loose. I ended up having to take out the mass airflow sensor screws as well, so the collar would fit off of it. So then stick it through here. I'll need my videographer for this job, really. So anyway, we'll get it sticking through there, and I know we're going to want it angled about like that towards the front for the mass airflow sensor, so you can see where the holes are in conjunction with that. So now I'll slip this flange on. Okay, so I just got a couple screws started, one on each side here, just to kind of center it up. So again, make sure your mass airflow sensor is aimed up towards you at about a 45. It'll end up being just like that. And that this flange is at the bottom, squared part down at the bottom. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and put the rest of them in. Don't tighten them all up till you get all of them in there. Then we'll go around and snug them up. So, like I say, just get them started, each one in each hole, and then snug them up afterwards. So then we're going to want to place these brackets. There's 2 brackets in your kit. This little one, and then this big one that's going to attach to the little one. So on these, they come with their own nuts already, and the bolt is welded to the back of them. See how this one has a little notch in it right here? So that's going to be so it can go around that when you put it through there. And these, of course, are 10 millimeter. So if you're ever stuck on a deserted island, see if they could leave you a 10 millimeter, because you'll need it for everything. We'll start those through there. Try not to drop them like I almost did. Easier said than done, as always. A little bit stiff getting it past that wiring harness right there. We'll try a new approach. Okay, there we go. So it's going to be like that. So then back this nut back off. And place this one in this upward position, because I'm imagining these studs go up into the air box. If not, I'll change it and you guys won't know any different. Just kidding. So there's a couple holes under there to line up. Got this one I can grab. I'll figure out why the other one's being so tough on me. There we go. Just need a little different angle. Then we'll snug those babies down. There won't be any access after this. So sorry I didn't show you this part, guys. You have when you buy it new, you get some weather stripping that goes here. around this snorkel tube that you took out. Originally did not have it. So I just had some 3/4 inch Frost King around the house here. So I just cut a strip of that, and as you can see, put it around, and it should seal up every bit as good as anything they had in their kit. So now we're gonna just put this back in. It says just put it back in and we'll guide it in later to where it actually goes. So it was a little rougher getting it out than I thought it would be, but so we'll just try to get it in there. I can actually see a little better now that the sun's not so much in my eyes, but we'll get it down in there, leave it loose, and then we'll reconnect it when we get the box put in place. Anyway, so we got that tube in, and you can't see it very well down here, but I kept it back quite a ways so I wouldn't bugger up the new weather stripping. And I'm supposed to mount, it's going to go in clear to there where that that hole lines up with that. So it's got a long ways to go to get in there. But again, I think it's just going to be in the way when I drop the airbox in. So I don't want it sticking in too far. So anyway, that's where we're at though. So I'm going to grab the airbox and try setting it in place. So as you can see here on the front, we got the original stud through that hole. We got these bracket studs through the holes in the back there. So I'm just going to get everything started with just a nut on it, but not crank them down yet. Then we'll go over here and install our hoses and stuff, so we still have a little mobility on it. Okay guys, so as I predicted earlier, getting this back in place was the hardest part. So what I found was going through here, go down through here with your left hand, and in here with your right hand to guide it through. So I think it worked out pretty good, and I think it's sealed pretty well. When I look in, you know, down this way, the weather stripping isn't absolutely touching it. I mean, all the way around, but it is against it. So hopefully that'll work. And anyway, that's how they wanted us to do it. So that's what we did. You can see the weather strips right there pressed up against it. So anyway, or not. So, or you can see it, I guess. There you go, right there. So it should seal better than the factory, at least, because they didn't even have any. So now I'm going to tighten down this one, you know, the one with the deep well, then these two 10 millimeters here. And then we'll drop our air filter in place. So now we're going to put the filter in, and basically, obviously guys, just going to want to make sure you can access the band to tighten it up. So just slip it in there and scooch it on. Make sure it's squared up all the way around, and we'll tighten it up nice and tight. Got her all closed up, filters installed. I'm going to get some more Velcro to put my pulsar. I think I'll just put it over here out of the way. And right now we're going to get some mass airflow cleaner from the garage, and I'll spray this baby down real quick. It hasn't been touched. It's like, I think I'm at 40,000 miles with the truck. So we'll give it a little spray, then we'll hook our hoses up, and we should be good to go, guys. So really a pretty easy install so far. Okay, so I went ahead and unplugged it, took it out, so I went spray stuff everywhere. So now we're just going to give it a little bath, and particularly just across the sensor there, top and bottom. You know, I've had it actually on a rig I had before. It actually quit working just because of bad mass airflow sensor, and I ended up buying that rig for like 300 bucks. It cost me 100 bucks to fix it, and I was good to go for a couple of years on a little Buick. Anyway, so we'll clean that up using some CRC, and then we'll plug her back in. Mass airflow sensor facing to the left, so it actually looks upside down on there. Again, you're going to use the screws that came with it, and just thread your factory ones back into your other air filter assembly so you don't lose them. And we'll just tighten these babies down, then onto that little bit of duct work, and we should be good. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope you guys are getting something out of this too. So now we're just down to this. Looks pretty self-explanatory. Obviously that end's going to go over there to plug into that PCV line that we removed right there, and onto the throttle body and the air filter, air cleaner. So there's a couple of bands in the kit, and So we're gonna go ahead and rig that up real quick. Then we'll double check everything, tighten her down, and then give it a test fire. All right guys, we're ready for a test start. So Gina's gonna fire it up and we'll all pray for the best. Oh baby, there we go. So, supposed to be more power and more gas mileage both, and more torque as well as the horsepower, so hopefully it's worth it. So this is just a guy with no instructions, a little bit of know-how, and it's perfect, just figured it out as we go. So guys, don't be afraid to tackle this stuff yourselves. If you have any questions or anything, just shoot them in my comment section. We'll be happy to answer every single one of them. So let us know what you want next. I think we're gonna do, I don't know what we're gonna do next actually. But oh yeah, more lighting, always more lighting. So, but you guys love it, don't you? It's gonna look great. I got a couple of things to put on the front, should spruce it up quite a bit. And we'll take it for a test drive tomorrow morning. Thanks guys. Oh yeah, give me a like and subscribe if you got anything out of this.